Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another tribute video, and this one is for Phil Campbell, guitarist who played with Motörhead for 31 years. Phil was only 64, and I know a lot of people are saying things like it's very young, to pass away at that age. I remember my dad passed away when he was 56 and I was 25, and I thought 56 was an old man. And now I'm 67 and I still feel like I'm 18. And so it really brings it home to me that Phil was younger than me and he sadly passed away. And this video is dedicated to all of Phil's family, Gaynor, Todd, Dane, Tyler, and all fans of Phil's guitar playing and Motörhead around the world. And with anything like this, I'm not going to go into lots of history. I'm just going to talk about very briefly how I feel and then what I've been playing to celebrate Phil's guitar playing and energy. The other thing I'd like to say really when we talk about things like age is the glorious world of heavy metal, or rock and roll as Lemmy would have called it, is that when we're younger, well, especially from my generation, and I imagine Phil was exactly the same, is that we kept looking at our parents thinking at some point in the future, we're not going to like this anymore. Something's going to happen and we're going to start playing James Last records or something, something, because we looked across the horizon and we couldn't see anybody over a certain age who played like loud rock music. Oh, how things have changed. And for Phil, in his final years, actually playing with these Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons with his own family on stage with him, that must have been amazing, because it shows how music literally deletes any generation gap whatsoever, and especially the thundering power of guitars played through Marshall amps. And the other thing I want to say is that, Phil was in Persian Risk, one of the new wave of British heavy metal bands, but when he joined Motörhead, and Wurzel was there originally because Lemmy couldn't make up his mind who to have, so he had two guitarists. But really, for most of the time, Phil played on his own within Motörhead. And I just want to point out that this is, if you are guitar-based drums, you are completely exposed. I know Lemmy played rhythm bass and filled a lot of that middle register, but there's still just you, and one of his idols is Tony Iommi. And so the fact that Phil was able to create this guitar sound that literally was as wide as the screen that you're watching me on, and as deep as that as well. And there was no gaps. So when we took a solo, pure rock and roll, you didn't notice a sudden gap. He just filled it. His talent for doing that and dynamics is just fantastic. And to play that extensively for decade after decade, playing the brutal, wonderful world of Motörhead music. And one of the other things I want to say is that, and this I know, this is why these things are affecting many of us so deeply. As I've gone through my life, and as playing guitar or being a music fan, Ozzy, Dio, Lemmy, these people are just rolling alongside me, whatever I'm doing in my life. These kind of things, the John Lords, the Eddie Van Halens, they're all around me. I just presume that whatever's going on, these people are going to release another album, or I have another chance to go and see them. And a lot of these people I've just mentioned, or all the people I've just mentioned, are no longer here. And I think the reason why this hits us so much is because we know that it isn't just these rock stars. Thinking when Deep Purple reformed, they were 40, weren't they? No, they were 39. That seemed old, didn't it, from where we were? I bet when Lemmy died, age 70, we thought that was old. And a lot of us are thinking, that's not that far off, is it? And a lot of our people that we grew up with are now in their late 70s or even 80s. And we're kind of looking at them and thinking more bad news. But the other thing is, of course, what we don't see are people like us. Because the fans are also getting whiter hair. And also thinking, this really brings it home to you, that at any moment things could change. So this might sound like a cliche thing to say, but I'm going to say it because it's how I feel. If you love somebody, tell them you love them. And on a kind of like really kind of semi-humorous level, if you've got a box set on your shelf that you haven't unsealed yet because you're saving it for a rainy day, or you think it might be worth something one day, just forget all that bollocks and just get it out and play it. Play it now, today. For me, for celebrating Phil and Motörhead, I mean, God, we've lost Larry Wallace, Fast Eddie Clarke, Filthy Animal Taylor, Lemmy, Wurzel, and now Phil Campbell. That's the enormity of it. Motörhead. We still wear the exploding dog head t-shirt, and these albums, they just are rock and roll. But literally, there's nobody left, is there, from that band? And that really has to bring it home to you as you look around to your friends. It could be a friend you haven't seen for a year or 2 years. Or I will ring them one day. Maybe I shall get in touch. I used to hang out with them. Do it now. So what am I playing? Sorry. I've been playing Motörhead, the Löst Tapes. I love this. It's raw, it's in your face, and it really shows Phil's talent for filling up the sound of the guitar. Drums, bass, guitar, Lemmy, absolutely fantastic. It's a great version of God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols on, isn't it? Live at Donington, Malmo, Norwich, Madrid. That has been my go-to. But you know what is my favourite album from Phil's tenure with Motörhead? The one that absolutely brought the band back to me. Because all of us will say this, that Motörhead were going for so long and there were so many albums that we bought that one, we didn't buy that one, we bought that one, we didn't buy that one, we missed them for a couple of years, we went to see them year after year after year. There was one album that when I heard it, it just never left my CD tray, and that was Aftershock. And it's the opening song, Heartbreaker. What a riff. If anything wanted to say to me, Motörhead, this is a rock and roll band. This is, you want a song that literally picks you up by the scruff of the neck and goes, what are you worrying about? What are you worrying about? Just put that on and everything else will be fine. And that opening song, well, the whole album is fantastic. But that to me is my favourite Motörhead album featuring Phil Campbell. So the music isn't going to die. Our thoughts are not going to die. And as I said, for Phil's family, he's created something and been part of something that's huge. And it goes beyond albums and sales and stuff. It's about a transference of feeling and community. Are people feeling part of something that you feel connected to, that connects you to other people all around the world in places that you've never even probably been to yourself. But you can connect to people and say, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And so this is sad. But I'm going to celebrate. And the neighbours are going to join in with me, whether they like it or not. Because after I press stop on this video, Aftershock is going on, and Heartbreaker is going to come out those speakers down the other end of the room to such a degree that you might even be able to hear it where you are. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Phil, and every member of Motörhead, for making such glorious music. Take care, all of you, and remember, music is the healer and the doctor.